Good afternoon. How's everyone doing? It's great to be here once again. I am blessed as always. I am thankful and grateful as always to be able to be here to speak to anyone who listens. Here's the thing. Do certain governors have blood on their hands? It's a good question. I think it was, now I can't remember who it was. But it was on one of the media networks who said, does Donald Trump have blood on his hands? Interesting question on something, he couldn't have stopped at that moment. But ask yourself that question when you look at the numbers. Now, I will say some of my numbers are a little off because it was a couple days ago when I was looking up death numbers from COVID-19. There are some interesting trends there. Let's just dive right on into it. And I'm tripping over my own words. Sometimes that happens. I just want to try to make these videos quicker so, they're easier to watch and faster for folks to watch. But let's break down some numbers. The top 10, let's go with the top 5. The top 5 hard-hit states. So five states make up nearly 60%. 60% of the COVID-19 deaths. 60. 5 states. How many states do we have? We have 45. 45 states, 5 of them make up 60%. Let's go with the top 10. You go with the 10 the 10 largest numbers of COVID deaths. 10 states. They make up 76%, roughly thereof. Somebody's like, well, it's actually 76.9 or 75.9 or whatever it is. Now, these numbers are a little different, most likely, obviously, higher, clearly. But think about that for a second. So that's 10 states. In those top 5 states, 4 of which are Democrats. Democrat-run governors. So obviously you have New York, you have New Jersey, you have Massachusetts, you have Michigan, you have Pennsylvania. Now, one of y'all are going to say, hey, one of those is a Republican. Yeah, Massachusetts. Now, I don't live in Massachusetts anymore. But I'll tell you, a lot of folks in Massachusetts feel he's just a Democrat governor anyways. Anybody in Massachusetts want to disagree? I'm just kidding around. Well, you can still disagree if you want. But think about that. Now, top 10. Let's say 10. 9 of those, that's right. On paper, Charlie Baker is a Republican. Okay. But let's just go with that number. 8 out of the top 10 are Democrat-run states from governors. Now, I'm not saying, and I'll get to my point with the Republicans later, I'm not saying that that's proof that Democrats are a problem. It's certainly something to look at. Wouldn't you want to know what's going on there? I'm just saying. Now, let's take the opposite reaction. I think, by the way, there's about 82,000, over 82,000 deaths currently from COVID-19 in this country. Or, I'm sorry, are proposed from COVID-19. We know doctors have come out, now that they've ripped them down, that, they were forced to sign things. So, I'm not going to get into the conspiracy part of it. Let's just look at the hard numbers and the facts. Let's just look at the facts of the matter. You make your own decision on the facts that are in front of you. I mean, to me, they only can lead pretty much in one direction at this point in time. Although, it'll go in different directions later on in time. But let's look at the people, the states have the least amount of problems, the least amount of deaths. And believe it or not, it's not that bad. 7 of the states what's the word I'm looking for? The 7 states with the least amount of deaths are Republican-run states. 3 are Democrats. 1, I can't even understand why they shut down, and that was Hawaii. They have no issues at all. They have none. I shouldn't say none. They had almost 20 deaths, I think. No death is a good thing. Don't get me wrong. No death. No one wants anyone to die. But you shut your whole state down? Notice I was a Democrat who pulled that one off. Then you get Michigan, shut your state down. Look at the facts. Look at the facts. In those those 10 states that have the least amount of deaths, almost 400 deaths total in 10 states. Wyoming, Alaska, Montana, Hawaii, South Dakota, North Dakota, all of those can open up. They can open up like that. Now you can go into other states and figure out, oh, should they be there, not be there, and so forth. But that's 0.004%. Those 10 states make 0.004%. 0.05%. No, I'm right. It's less than 1%. It's less than 1%. Those could have opened up like that. No problems. But there's a force, there's a push to shut down everything. So take those numbers into account. Your biggest problems are in Democrat governor-run states. Your least amount of problems are a majority of Republican-run states. And right now, I think that makes a huge difference. And that should be paid attention to. Oh, you're a Republican. No, I'm not. I'm an independent. I've actually voted for Democrats. Because I've actually seen Democrats, I'm like, I don't even know how you're a Democrat, but we're pretty good people. They're on the same belief system as I, and you don't get that in Democrats. Here's the thing. Can you look at the numbers? Can you actually look at the numbers objectively? Or do you always have to put in politics? Or your hatred for one side or the other? If you actually looked at data, just look at it. Now me, I used to love inventory. I have a bit of an inventory background. I love numbers. I'm just which I'm not even that great at math. Does that make any sense? But I like that. I like numbers. I enjoy them. I like stats. I like that because they say something. The stats sometimes are more honest than people. Of course, it depends on who's trying to spout off the stats. And stats will get fudged along the way, as we have seen with the situation we're in now. Look at the numbers. Look at the stats. Now, to answer your Republican part, oh, you point out the Democrats and Republicans. Well, know this now. Both of them are going to be guilty. Both of them are going to be equally as guilty when the time comes. Because they're all going to be, at one point or another, in cahoots, my friend. In cahoots. Not every single one, but the majority will be. So pay attention to that, Republicans and Democrats. You're both on the same side. You just don't know it yet. See, there's two sides. There is the world. And there's God. Which side do you want to be on? The world who keeps on letting you down? The world who keeps on lying to you? The world who does not stand up for your rights? Help you in your time of need, your true time of need? Or God, who is always there, who will always be there, and who has always been there? Jesus, the truth, the way, the light. No one gets to heaven but through him. You're not getting to heaven through Andrew Cuomo. We know he hates God. He already said it. When he said God didn't help. What a blasphemy. What a horrible person to say something like that. Especially to the people who believe in God. You don't have to believe in God to get over COVID-19. I'm not saying that. But to those who do believe in God and prayed to get out of their sickness, Andrew Cuomo, you're going to say it wasn't God, it was you? You terrible person. Just on that fact. I don't know about the rest of your life, but just that alone, that's just disgusting. This is it, right here. The King James Bible. This is it. So there are two sides. Am I a Republican? Do I vote for Republican? Yep. Have I voted Democrat on occasion? Yep. Are Republicans and Democrats different? You're going to see that no. In time, no. No, they're not. There are only two sides, and it ain't Republican and it ain't Democrat. It is world and it is God. Those are the only two sides. Thank you for tuning into this video. I appreciate your time as always. God bless. I love you. And honestly, have an awesome day.